Today, I'm taking my sister Julia around Melbourne for a full day of portrait photography. I had a few locations in mind, a surprise mode of transport planned, and honestly we had no idea how chaotic the day was about to get. And at the end I'll show you how I edited some of my favorite shots from that day. Alright, let's get into it. So I'm purposely shooting a little bit wider because I know I am just gonna do the very slim crop. I think it's funny that it says Anderson. I'm sure you know about the director Wes Anderson. Similar vibe. Stunning. I think it'd be so nice if Julia is standing right here, being backlit by the sun. Beautiful. So you might recognize this spot. This is at a fuel station here in Melbourne. I've done a shoot here, I think, what would it be? Maybe 2 years ago with a 35mm. And this is one of my favorite spots to take photos here in Melbourne. So let's give it a crack. What do you think of this spot?
Excited to see what you make of it.
And because Julia is leaning to the side, I also angle my camera with her pose. I feel like it just looks really beautiful in the photo. Then, of course, I want to use these. So maybe sort of stand in between here. Ooh, hold that pose. Looking one more time to me. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, hold that pose. I love that pose. Okay, so we're about to pick up something really exciting, and Julia knows it's a car, but she doesn't know what type of car. So I rented something that I think she is going to love. So let's go pick it up.
I have a small suspicion about what car it's gonna be because I talked a lot about this specific car. Can I know the color? If you said red, I would know it's a Ferrari straight away. Is it this one?
Yeah.
And it's a cabrio?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so much fun. Oh my god, so today is kind of gonna be like a test run for the future car. Yay! Have you ever driven a cabrio before?
We call it cabrio in Dutch, but it's a convertible. I've never driven a cabrio before. I've only ever sat in a cabrio once before.
Oh yeah, mom. Yeah, this is so cool.
It's time to figure out how this roof comes off. Kind of feel like...
Can I press?
Press the button.
Press the button.
Ah! Fuck. Oh, you! You!
Hey!
Oh! bunch of yellow taxis and I thought it'd be cool to photograph Julia here. This is one of those shoots. In my head it looks really cool, but there's only one way to find out. Just so you know, it is the middle of the day, and if you know me, it's not my favorite time to shoot, but we're doing a day of portrait photography, so here I am. Yeah, this is sick. Beautiful. These photos are quite edgy, so I'm doing a little Dutch tilt.
Why is it called a Dutch tilt?
I don't know why it's called a Dutch tilt. If you know why it's called a Dutch tilt, let us know in the comments down below. Just gonna add an APS-C crop. And during the day, you don't really notice any quality loss in the photo, so why not? Do you ever just forget to format your SD card? I'm just erasing some videos that I know I don't need. Beautiful. Love this. Oh, this one. I'm well aware, of course she's my sister, but I think at any photo shoot it's so important to ask from a model, hey, do you have any other ideas? I don't think it's being unprofessional, it's just working together, and I think that's so important to do that on your shoots. Julia now is actually looking for the camera to see the next shot.
I was thinking maybe on top of here, because you have this small little taxi thing.
Oh ja. Pak met je rechterhand de spiegel vast. It's actually quite cool. Let's get out of here. So something you should know about me is that I'm pretty shit with time. I always feel like I've got all the time in the world, but here I am, only 10 minutes left to shoot sunset. So we better make the most of it. It's already getting pretty dark. We're now at a spot with beautiful orange rocks. I think it looks so pretty with the Mustang. So I should stop talking and let's start shooting. Yeah, looking over your shoulder. Nice. Beautiful, you. I think we should try parking the car there using the gradient in the sky.
Yeah. Good
It's not bad, hey? Oh, you! Oh! Gaat ie?
Did you get shot though?
Yeah, I got it. So, it is time for story time. Tea time. Jules got her drink. I've got my coffee. And we've got some explaining to do.
So I was walking on the ledge with my high heels. These are the highest heels I have. And then I misstepped with one foot. My one ankle just went flop. And then I got onto the ground and they both went flop.
Yeah, I think it also didn't help that we had a crowd. And then the guy that was with us said, I have the perfect thing in my trunk.
Like if you want to use these, you can use them.
Thank
You're
you,
a
but
bit taller.
I'm fine, I can walk.
Yeah,
That's good. It was such an innocent photo shoot and then it went just completely downhill. We went to the fuel station and the only thing I could get was a 5 kilo bag of ice. I bought way too much ice. At least we can still laugh about it. And we put it on Julia's ankles and I think that helped.
And I have a little trauma for wearing heels now.
And I also want to say, Julia has given me permission to put this into the video.
Might as well make the most of my fall, right?
Also, it was Julia's first time here in Melbourne as well. So to be able to shoot a video here, that felt very special. Told you at the start of this video that it would take a chaotic turn. I did have a lot of fun shooting with my sister, and we have so many photos to edit. But I really want to show you my editing process, and for that I use two tools. First one being Lightroom Classic, and the second one is Reblum. Now I think it's over a year ago I talked about Reblum for the very first time. Now I used it to speed up my retouching process, and it saved me so many hours over the past year. But now they're evolving into a complete portrait enhancing solution, and we've got access before it comes out, so obviously I'm going to share my experience with you. Now I do want to say this is a beta version, so it's still being refined and being updated. I am just excited to give it a try. First things first, I'm going to start with a crop, and I think a 2x1 crop really works for this shot, so I'm going to leave it as is. It draws back much more focus to Julia in my photo. Then let's apply a preset, and how I personally look at presets, it's a starting point for my photo, but also it speeds up my editing workflow. And I know exactly which preset I want to select for this photo, and it's called Stills. This is the before and that's the after. Pretty good, but I feel like there's not much depth in my shot at the moment. So what I'm going to do is increase the highlights and then increase my contrast, bring back a bit more depth. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to bring up my exposure just a little bit. Then I'm going to head into my tone curve and just decrease the midtones a little bit, soften them just slightly. Now I do feel like Julia's skin is a little bit too saturated, and my trick is actually in the calibration tab. That's where I adjust my skin tones. Go into the blue primary section and bring down the saturation. And then lastly, I'm gonna bring down the luminance of the orange, make her a little bit more tan. I don't think she minds. This is our before photo. That's our after. But when we zoom in, we have some slight, if you will, imperfections. We're gonna edit those in Reblum. So the first thing I'm gonna do is right click, head on over to Edit In, and that's where you can find Reblum. So let's open up the software. So this is what the interface looks like. Something I said in my previous video as well is that I love that there are not too many sliders and things to adjust. It can get quite overwhelming. Quick in and out into the software and continue my editing. As you can see here on the top, it can also detect faces in group shots. For now, it is just Julia we're editing. Then below that, you can choose out of a style. A natural style, this is the before, that's the after, or even a fashion style. So it's a more glossy look, that's before, that's after. I feel like this one gets more rid of unnecessary shadows. Then down here we can still fine-tune all of the adjustments that are made. We can really determine how much the skin is refined and also the texture. And I think personally that's the most important slider, because keeping those textures in the face makes it look natural. It's not too polished. Then we can also get rid of shine. So we have a little bit of shine on her cheek. When we increase it, bam, it mattifies the face. I personally do like a bit of shine, so I'm just gonna leave it right here. We have a little bit of teeth going on here, so we can also whiten the teeth a bit more. Skin tones are something that you can easily mess up. You can make someone look very unnatural very quickly, and this is something worth spending your time on to perfect it. So something that really helps is to compare the before and after to make sure you're still close to the original colors. So let me show you how this works. As you can see, when I slide it up all the way, it balances the skin tone over the whole body. The skin tone in the arms, the legs, the face are still the same, and I like to keep it maybe at around 45. Then we can adjust the quality. We can go for ultra quality, high quality, fast quality, or ultra fast quality, but I'm just gonna keep it at high quality. Then we can also export it in here as a TIFF, a JPEG, PNG, HEIC. I personally never use that one, but I usually export it as a JPEG or a PNG. And then we can also adjust the depth. So 16 bits or 8 bits. I'm just gonna leave it at 16. Now the beauty of Reblum is when we click on save, it saves the photo to Lightroom. So if I still wanted to continue editing with, let's say I wanted to add more masks or add a bit of grain, I can still continue my edit. So there are not too many extra steps you have to take, export it, re-import it, all that jazz. It's all super simplified and just keeps your workflow Speedy Gonzales. Now, if I have to spend many hours behind this laptop retouching the skin in my shots, I can also save a couple of extra minutes by batch editing my photos. So let's do that for this series, shot at the yellow cab location. So I'm just gonna select a bunch of shots, right click again, go to Reblum. So it just batch imported everything to Reblum. So let's see how it does, because every single photo is different. Now I do want to go for that fashion polished look, so I'm just gonna adjust it to fashion, and then it automatically adjusts it for every single photo. Okay, let's have a look at this one. That's before and that's after. As you can see, it even got rid of that little shadow on Julia's neck. That looks pretty good. It is gonna save every single photo back to Lightroom. And then there's also clean backdrop. So imagine you're shooting in a studio and the backdrop has all these like dirty shoe marks on it and it's wrinkled paper. Then I think clean backdrop will save the day because it will get rid of all those imperfections. Actually, I would love to know how long you roughly spend on editing one portrait photo. I think it's gonna be quite interesting to read the comments because some people might shoot studio and do heavy editing. Others might not even retouch skin in portraits. So let me know in the comments down below. Now, when it comes to group shots, I actually realized I don't shoot that many duo shots with multiple models, which I feel like is something I should definitely do more. It's really fun. But I do really want to show you the effect of Reblum on group shots. So this is actually shot at a workshop I hosted in London. As you can see, it detects two faces in my shot. Now, I want to give Simone quite a natural look. As you can see, this is the before. It does have some extra shadows in the face, and we can get rid of those just by using the natural slider. But let's say I want to give Julia even more of a polished look, and I want to go for a fashion glossy look with her face. Then I can just select fashion. So just imagine you're shooting a wedding and the bride wants to have a very polished look, wants to look like a living filter, for example, then you can just apply the fashion look. But the groom might want to look very natural. Then you can give him the natural look. Also, you probably won't catch me shoot a wedding. I've done it once. It was really stressful. Probably will never do it again. But if you do, respect. So yeah, these are all the updates so far. It's still being refined, but Reblum did tell me that over the next couple of weeks there'll be more quality updates. So I personally think if you're a photographer or an editor that values their time and want to speed it up just a little more, make sure to definitely check out Reblum. It's something I use pretty much for every single one of my photo shoots. When it comes to portraits, Reblum is now running a 40% discount. So if you want to get a lifetime license, then this is the time to shine. Honestly, I think that is the end of the video. I really hope you learned something along the way and maybe get some use out of these tips as well. So yeah, that is it. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video and I also hope to see you at my next one. Okay, bye bye. Doei. Okay, bye bye. Doei.